you need to know that burnout is not just a trending term. Stress from burnout has some serious mental and physical consequences. So let's talk about both how to prevent and how to recover from burnout. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Jessica, and I am a naturopathic doctor, an acupuncturist, and a health coach. And I help clients regain their vitality, mental clarity, and energy naturally. So let's jump into talking about burnout. So what is burnout and what exactly does it look like? Well, like a lot of things I talk about on this channel, it is a functional condition. There is no specific test for burnout, but we can use mental and physical clues to extrapolate. Well, burnout is described as a state of exhaustion, poor performance, and changes in mood that can lead to anxiety and even feelings of negativity. So how does that manifest in everyday life? Well, it can look like having no energy, difficulty getting out of bed, difficulty sleeping. It can lead to insomnia. It can also result in difficulty concentrating, problems with recall, and problems with concentration. And that can lead to poor performance at work. All of these things can go on to affect your mood, leaving you with feelings of anxiety, feelings of irritability, or even feelings of apathy, especially towards the things you once used to enjoy. Burnout really is a whole body, both physical and mental response to chronic stress. If any of this is sounding familiar, I want you to go ahead and leave a comment below. Okay, so all of that is already terrible, but what you might not be aware of is that the damage that chronic stress is doing internally. And those changes that are happening internally can have long-term effects on your health. So because of chronic stress, that then leads to elevated cortisol. Now, elevated cortisol opens up another can of worms. That elevated cortisol exposes you to problems like blood glucose dysregulation, and that puts you at risk for developing things like type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. And that in turn can also put you at higher risk for problems with your lipids. Lipids being things like cholesterol and triglycerides. That elevated glucose also starts to cause problems with the way your body handles lipid metabolism. So that can lead to things like hyperlipidemia or dyslipidemia, basically an elevation in your cholesterol and triglycerides. And that can then lead to increased risk for cardiovascular disease. And also that continued elevation of lipids usually leads to deposition of more body fat around your abdomen or what we call visceral fat, again, increasing your risk for cardiovascular disease. So wow, I bet you probably weren't aware of the damage that chronic stress was actually doing internally. You may feel the effects of difficulty sleeping, not getting up out of bed, but it really is doing damage long-term to your health. And if you don't do something about it, then you're headed for the danger zone. Danger zone. I cannot tell you how many times I've had this exact conversation with clients, and when we go look at their labs, we see that they're heading towards that red zone. So now that you know what burnout is and some of the long-term consequences that it can have, the question then becomes, what do you do? Well, first, you need to be realistic and recognize that this probably didn't happen overnight, and the fix is not going to be a magic pill, and the changes are not going to happen overnight, but they are reversible. So this is where you're going to need to put all the pieces together and have a whole body approach. You're going to need to work on those stress reduction techniques. So whether that be things like mindfulness, breathing practices, yoga, etc., you're going to need to bring these all together to help reduce your body's response to stress. On top of that, you're going to need to probably nurture your body and work on your nutrition. You're going to need to correct those underlying dysfunctions. So whether that be elevated glucose or problems with lipid management, and all that can be done through dietary and lifestyle changes. All that takes is time and consistent effort and perhaps a little bit of expertise, which is why I recommend working with a coach like myself to help you navigate. So look, I know you're probably already busy. That's probably how we got to this state. So you need some expert guidance, and you want to do it in the most efficient way possible. You have within you the ability to make all these changes. You probably just need a little bit of guidance and someone to help you navigate. So if this sounds like something that you could benefit from, then why don't you join me in my virtual coaching program? This is where I help you understand exactly what your body needs using a functional approach along with weekly coaching. Through this approach, I help you implement the most effective techniques and lifestyle changes and dietary changes that are going to be effective for you and your body. And of course, when you get stuck, I'm going to be there for weekly coaching calls so that we can help you navigate through obstacles. If you would like to learn more about how to work with me, then go ahead and click that link below and that book a call link, and we can hop on a chat and we can figure out how to help you navigate. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please share it with someone that you think may benefit. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.